warm welcome to our distinguished guest, Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh. He is Director of Indian Institute of Management, Tiruchirappalli. He has served as Director of Management Development Institute, Gurgaon, Director in charge of Indian Institute of Management, Indore, and Chairperson of the first Academic Committee of IIM Sambalpur. Dr. Singh has been Professor of Organizational Behavior and Human Resource Management at Indian Institute of Management, Indore for 15 years. He earlier served as faculty in management at National Institute of Industrial Engineering, Mumbai, Indira Gandhi National Open University, New Delhi, Kanpur University, and Vikram University at Ujjain. Prior to his joining academics, he worked for Bank of India as Industrial Relation Officer, having served at Jamshedpur and Ranchi. Dr. Singh is PhD in Management with post-graduation in Economics as well as Personal Management and Industrial Relations. Dr. Singh enjoys traveling, music, cricket, poetry, astronomy, and reading quotations. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Dr. Pawan Kumar Singh.
अरे सर वो पोडियम पे से नहीं बोला उन्होंने इसलिए नहीं शुरू Dear all learned colleagues from United Consciousness, my time has started and very happy to share my understanding about service, Seva. Since I am also compiling the main points by different speakers, so one laptop was there with me. I have already feeded 2 points there, but I think Professor Saim is also going to take care of that. So my discussion is rotating around 2 points. Point number 1, that what are the impacts of Seva attitude on quality of life? I'll repeat. What is impact of Seva attitude on quality of life? How it is directly beneficial to a Sevak? And secondly, that what are the characteristics of a person involved with true sense of Seva Bhav, which may be called simply as Sevak. So what are the characteristics of Sevak? These are the 2 points. So coming to point number 1, impact of Seva attitude on quality of life. But before that, let me just go to, one is from Bhartrihari Shatak, Niti Shatak, verse 58 says, Seva Dharma Param Gahno Yoginam Api Agamya. So it is very arduous to become a Sevak. It is very arduous path. It is difficult path. But why it is difficult path? As a humble learner I understood, it is difficult yet not so difficult. It is not difficult yet difficult, because when we do Seva, and if a bhav of I-ness and you-ness is there, it is difficult, because by nature when we dwell with, let us say, lower tendencies in our consciousness, we think that if I serve others, I am not being served. That's why I am starting with this discussion, that how it is going to impact and benefit yourself when you do Seva. So why it is difficult to be a Sevak? It is difficult because we get established in Dvaidhi Bhav. Idam ayam, idam tvam. So, as Bhagavad Gita says, one who is able to see others, so-called others, as extension of self, and so-called me as extension of so-called others, that person has right eyesight. In Bhagavad Gita, a person with right eyesight has been described 8 times, saying, Yah pashyati sa pashyati, and one character is that I-ness and you-ness must get dissolved. We are actually different bubbles at the seashore of the same ocean. If we get established in that understanding, we shall be able to do Seva. And myself and my father did Hindi poetic translation of Tirukkural, and one poetic translation of verse 213 of Tirukkural by Tiruvalluvar is, Swarg Bhumi ho ya dhara, This is intended Hindi translation by a novice like me and my father. स्वर्ग भूमि हो या धरा, कोई न इसका तोड़, मानव मात्र की सेवा हो, यही कर्म बेजोड़. 2050 years back, Saint Thiruvalluvar wrote that. Now coming to Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita says, as Dr. Vikrantji was saying, that there are 4, of course, paths, but 3 paths have been clearly described in one verse of Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, shlok 25, which says that through Jnana Yoga, through Karma Yoga, and through Dhyana Yoga, that is also called Raj Yoga, one can attain Labhante Brahma Nirvana. My language is that what are the benefits? So Bhagavad Gita says, 5/25, Labhante Brahma Nirvanam Amrishayah Chhina Kalmashah Chinna Dvaidha Yatatmanah Sarva Bhut Hite Rata. Chhina Kalmashah, Raj Yoga, Chinna Dvaidha Yatatmanah, basically Chinna Dvaidha. This is basically Bhakti Yoga and Jnana Yoga combined, and Sarva Bhut Hite Rata is Karma Yoga. The English meaning of this verse is, the seers whose sins have been wiped out, whose doubts have been dispelled by knowledge, whose disciplined mind is firmly established in God, and who are actively engaged in the service of all beings, Sarva Bhut Hite Rata, attain Brahma, who is all peace. And attaining Brahma has been called as the greatest achievement by Upanishad. Mahabharat Shanti Parv, when Bhishma Pitama is sharing his knowledge with especially Yudhishthir, says, Pratyutpakurvan bhavapi nabhati purvopakarina tulya ekah karoti hikrite nishkaranam eva kurute anyah. He says that when you return a service in lieu of somebody having served you, that is of inferior quality because you are returning something. But when without any expectation, with sense of originality, you do service to others without any expectation, that service counts none other than that. So service in proaction and service in reaction has been properly, clearly described in Shanti Parv of Bhagavad Gita. Now, second part of my discussion is, what are the characteristics of Sevak? So characteristics of Sevak has very interesting elaboration. I'm just telling you Shastra because we may get time to discuss later on. Which Shastra do it? So one is Hanuman Sahasranam, the other is Dohavali, and the other is various literature of Tulsidas. So one characteristics of Sevak is, Sevak pad kar nayan se mukhso sahibu hoy. That characteristic of Sevak is, depending on your endowed qualities and strength, you do Seva, because Seva can be done in many ways, and it was well elaborated in the inaugural session. Not that all this is Seva, that is Seva. Whatever can be, you can do. That's why hand has different capability, leg has different capability, stomach has different capability. All are doing Seva to the human body, but if you have certain responsibilities endowed with you, and you are, let us say, heading a department, heading an organization, heading a country, then your character has to be like a mouth, because mouth gets fed, and with that feeding by unitary mouth, it equitably distributes the strength to all the parts of the body. Not equally, equitably. Proportional equality is the emphasis, not absolute equality. So I will end by saying, because आप लोग सब मेरे मित्र हैं, ये दुश्मन है, right? So I will end by saying and remembering Hanumanji. One of the names, Hanumanji's name is Sita Samet Shri Ram Pad Seva Dhurandhara. So those of us who would like to be a Dhurandhar in extending service, only they should take Seva Bhav. That simmering level and half-baked, half-hearted, no. Dhurandhara, masti ke saath Seva. इसलिए उनका नाम है सीता समेत श्री राम पाद सेवा धुरंधर. और अंत में मैं कहूँगा कि Hanuman has been described in Dohavali, not in Ramcharitmanas, as his act is साहिब ते सेवक बड़ो जो निज धर्म सुजान राम बांधि उतरे उदधि लांघि गए हनुमान. that Master Ram had to cross ocean by creating physical bridge and by, let us say, movement of legs he could do it. But Hanuman went by flight route because Hanuman is Sevak, and sometimes Sevak becomes greater than the master himself if the Seva bhav is well established. Thank you very much.
That's amazing. Thank you.
United Council for Ancient Wisdom
Professor
and United
P.K.
Global
Singh.
Peace Foundation.
Now,
I thank Mr.
we have our
Pawan Kumar
friend.
Singh for coming and sharing his views.
Now
On
we
the
have our
behalf-